Dear exchange students, welcome in Leuven. Welcome at the Faculty of Engineering Science. Despite the fact that we're not able to meet you in person for the moment, we wish you a warm welcome in the beautiful surroundings of the Arenberg Castle. With this presentation, we would like to give you more information about the practical and administrative part of your stay here. At the beginning of the academic year, our international office held a welcome session for all new international students. Since you couldn't be present in that session, we've made all the information presented there available to you at the upper link on this slide. Additionally, we encourage you to take a look at our collection of frequently asked questions that will facilitate your integration in the faculty. The Dean of our faculty is Professor Peter van Puivelde, and Professor Jos van der Sloten is our Vice Dean of Internationalization. However, the most important person for you during your Erasmus at our faculty is Miss Victoria Poekhier, the Faculty Coordinator for Incoming Exchange Students. She will assist you during your stay in any way she can. If you have administrative questions about your stay or documents that need to be signed and stamped, she will help you out. Another important person for you during your exchange in our faculty is your academic advisor, but we'll come back to that in detail later. Our faculty consists of 7 departments, shown here on this slide above the line. Also take note of the abbreviations mentioned behind in brackets that are commonly used. Below the line are other study fields we also offer in our faculty that are not listed as separate departments. As mentioned before, the academic advisor is another important person for you during your stay here. This is the person you can turn to for all questions about content of courses, advice on course selection, and other academic issues. On this slide, all academic advisors are listed by study field. The academic advisor you have been assigned to doesn't necessarily match with your study field in your home university. It is based on the study field of the courses you have put in your learning agreement. For example, if in your home university you are studying electrical engineering, but in your learning agreement you have put courses that belong here to computer science, your academic advisor is not the one from electrical engineering, but the one from computer science. If you are here for thesis work, whether or not in combination with courses, your thesis supervisor here is your academic advisor. If you have questions about content of courses and you would like to know who is your academic advisor, please ask Ms. Poekhier. Where can you find us? We have our office in room 0063 of the Arenberg Castle. Face-to-face appointments are currently not possible, unfortunately, due to the corona measures. However, we will gladly assist you by email or during a phone call. You can find our contact details here on this slide. You may contact us for all administrative documents and general information. You will find a lot of information on our faculty website and in the KU Leuven app. As mentioned before, if you have questions about the content of your study program, please make an appointment with your academic advisor. Knowing whom to contact is a job half done. Equally important is knowing how to compose your emails. The golden rule is to keep the tone of your emails formal. Before sending an email, please make sure that the answer can't be easily found anywhere else. Stick to your KU Leuven email address. Always be specific in your subject. Use the appropriate title, for instance, Dear Professor van der Sloten. Use a formal sign-off, such as kind regards, and at the end of your email, always mention your full name and your student number. How do you compose your study program? First of all, check the course list. You have all received the Excel file in the email with our application procedure, but you can also find it on our website. Are you obliged to stick to the learning agreement you have sent us with your application file? No. You can still replace some courses you have chosen then, or even start completely from scratch. Basic rule is that you take up 30 ECTS per semester, with a deviation of 10% higher or lower. But if you don't need that many credits because you are in your final year and you only need 18 credits, for example, to graduate, just send us an email to inform us about it and we will make a note in your file. Even though they are mentioned in the course list, some courses you might choose have prerequisites in the system. Because of these prerequisites, you won't be able to send the ISP yourself. In that case, contact Victoria and she will send the ISP for you once it's final. If you would like to follow courses that are not mentioned in the course list, please contact the professor of that course and forward the email with his or her approval to Victoria. She will then make a note in your file so we know you are allowed to follow the course anyway. As exchange student of the Faculty of Engineering Science, you are allowed to combine courses from the different study fields we offer as mentioned in the course list. However, in case you would like to combine this with courses from the Engineering Technology faculty, for example, or the Faculty of Economics and Business, take into account that you are allowed to choose up to 2 courses from these other faculties. In case you would like to add a language course to your study program, you may choose the Dutch as a foreign language from our language institute, the ILT. Take into account that this course won't show on your transcript of records. You will receive a certificate at completion. With this certificate, you can have the language course validated in your home university. For other language courses, please check out the website of the ILT mentioned on the slide. The English and French for professional purposes we offer in our faculty are both full-year courses. It's not possible to register for one of them only for the second semester. For those of you who are here for thesis work, if at the end of your stay you need a mark from KU Leuven on an official transcript of records, the 2 options mentioned on this slide are the only ones you can choose from to register in the ISP. If you don't really need a mark from KU Leuven for your thesis work here, we advise you to keep the thesis out of your ISP. You do mention it on your learning agreement, however, to make sure you get validation for it in your home university. If in that case it's required for your home university to have some kind of proof of the work you did here, you can ask your thesis supervisor to write an evaluation report instead. Leaving the thesis out of your ISP means that if you're not combining it with courses, your ISP will remain empty. That's possible. You then just send your ISP empty, you confirm to us by email that you won't need a mark for your thesis on a transcript of records and therefore leave it out of the ISP. We will close your ISP in the system and that's it. The language course, or the thesis, if you don't need a mark from KU Leuven, is the only difference between ISP and learning agreement we allow. Apart from these 2, every course for which you need a mark from KU Leuven on an official transcript of records has to show on your learning agreement and needs to be registered in your ISP. Otherwise, we won't be able to approve your ISP and you won't have a transcript of records at the end of your stay. If you still have doubts about your study program or questions about content of courses, please get in touch with your academic advisor. Is it compulsory to contact your academic advisor? No. If for you everything is clear and you don't have any questions about the academic part of your stay, you can just carry on without the guidance of your academic advisor. Just know that if you do have doubts or questions on an academic level, that person is there to help you out. Regarding thesis work, you can make all necessary arrangements directly with your thesis supervisor. The ISP, or the Individual Study Program, is the online system we use at KU Leuven for registering courses. If you put a course on your learning agreement, you have to register it in the ISP. By putting it in the ISP, we assume you will be taking the exam at the end of the semester. If somewhere during the semester you should decide to quit a course and don't take the exam, we can no longer delete it from your ISP and make it disappear from your transcript of records. You will then have an NA for that course on your transcript of records. In the same way, if you should go to class without putting the course on your learning agreement and without registering it in your ISP, it won't show on your transcript of records, even if you have taken the exam. As mentioned before, if you register a course in your ISP that doesn't show on your learning agreement, we will not be able to approve your ISP and you won't have a transcript of records at the end of your stay. For the approval of your ISP, we have to have an up-to-date learning agreement that matches with what you have registered in the ISP. The only difference between learning agreement and ISP we allow is the language course at the ILT and the thesis if you don't need a mark from KU Leuven. Deadline to register all courses in your ISP is Wednesday, 24 February. Until then, you have time to try out different courses and make up your mind. But 24 February is the very last day to register your courses in the ISP. After this date, it's no longer possible to make changes to your study program. It's a strict deadline in the system we can't manipulate or postpone. To complete your ISP, you log on to KU Locket with your username and password. In the Educations and Students tab, you choose Individual Study Program ISP. When you enter your ISP for the first time, it will be totally empty. You put in the courses you would like to take by clicking the box next to Search via module number or title. A pop-up screen comes where you can enter the course code and click the search button. Results will appear below and you just click the code to add the course to your ISP. The statement in red, "Do not use this function for courses of exchange programs," is not applicable for you as exchange student. You may ignore this. After you have added a course in your ISP, you automatically return to the previous screen where you can click the search box again to enter the next course code. After having added all courses, you click Save and check your schedule for overlaps by clicking on the blue clock on top. The schedule you will see is your own personal schedule based on the courses you have registered. When you start registering your courses in the ISP, you don't have to complete it from the first time you enter. As long as you didn't click Send Submit until the deadline of 24 February, you can leave and re-enter the ISP as many times as you like and update your study program. Only after you have clicked the Submit button, you will no longer be able to change the ISP yourself. In case you have already submitted the ISP before the deadline by mistake and you would still like to change it anyway, please contact Victoria immediately. She will be able to retrieve your ISP for you so you can continue making the necessary changes. Don't forget to click the Send Submit button when you have finished registering all courses. If you have made up your mind earlier, you don't have to wait until the day of the deadline to send your ISP. Just know that Wednesday, 24 February is the very last day to do it. Once you have completed your ISP, before you send it, you can complete your exam schedule, the IER. For every course you have registered in the ISP, in this calendar you will see an exam slot for you to confirm or several slots to choose from. You select an exam moment as shown on the slide by clicking on it and selecting Choose Exam Slot and press OK. Make sure you don't book slots for different exams at the same time. Once you have picked a slot for every exam in your schedule, you save your examination schedule and do a completeness check as shown in this slide. By doing the completeness check, The system checks for you if you have actually confirmed an exam slot for every course you have in your ISP. It may be that in your IER you don't find an exam slot for every course in your ISP. For some project-type courses, there's no regular oral or written exam, but maybe a paper you have to write or a group assignment. If you notice that for some courses an exam slot is missing in your IER, just check with the professor how the exam is organized, and he or she will tell you. Once you have completed the ISP and the IER, and you are 100% sure it's final, you may send it. When you click the Send Submit button in ISP, the IER automatically goes with it. Remember that if you should have courses with prerequisites, you won't be able to send the ISP yourself. Victoria can overrule the prerequisites message and send the ISP for you. Take into account that once the ISP is sent, you can no longer make changes yourself. The ultimate and absolutely strict deadline to do this is 24th of February 2021. And once again, for the approval of your ISP, we need a correct and up-to-date learning agreement that matches with what you have registered in the ISP. Will you be able to receive the learning agreement back from your home university signed by them by 24 February? Probably not. Of course, you need their approval for the courses you have chosen, but a confirmation of this to you by email, for example, is enough so you know you can carry on. The learning agreement you send us by the ISP deadline doesn't necessarily have to be signed by your home university yet. Just make sure that we receive an up-to-date learning agreement signed by you so we can approve your ISP. The version of your learning agreement signed by the coordinator of your home university can arrive later. What is Toledo? Toledo is the web-based e-learning environment at KU Leuven to share information between teaching staff and students. For every course you have registered in your ISP, on this platform you will have access to the course material, be able to communicate with fellow students and teachers, and upload assignments, for example. On this platform you can also register for courses without taking the exam. On the next slide we will explain you how to do this. Deadline is also Wednesday, 24 February. By the way, the best browsers to use for ISP or Toledo are Firefox or Chrome. If, for example, there are classes you would like to attend purely out of interest and not necessarily because you need the credits, instead of adding this course in your ISP, you can register for it through Toledo. In the Administration tab, you choose Enroll to register for courses you don't need the credits for. That way, you have access to the course material and are included in all communication between teacher and students. But you don't have to take the exam. If you should decide to quit the course, you simply choose Unenroll and you will no longer receive updates about it. But remember, this option is only for courses that won't appear in your ISP and on your Transcript of Records. The exams at KU Leuven are organized in determined periods at the end of the semester. For second semester courses, this is between the 4th and the 26th of June 2021. In case you should have to do retakes of certain courses, take into account that these are only possible between the 9th of August and the 4th of September 2021. Registration for retakes is possible after the June exams. Deadline to do this is the 14th of July 2021. We would like to draw your attention to the fact that it's not possible to retake an exam for which you have already passed. And for those of you who are familiar with it, tolerance is not applicable for exchange students. In case you should decide not to take an exam, please report this to the professor of the course beforehand. Because of the fact that you register all your courses in the ISP, the grades you will obtain for your exams are uploaded in the system by the professor directly. Only if you have registered an Erasmus thesis course in your ISP, please ask your thesis supervisor to send an email with your mark to Victoria before the deadline, and we will enter it in the system manually. Once the grades are released, you will receive an email notification and you will be able to download the transcript of records yourself from KU Lockheed. Other documents we can help you with are proof of attendance, confirmation of study period, or an extension of your Erasmus period in case of retakes. To download your transcript of records, you enter KU Lockheed and in the Education and Students tab, you choose Self-Service Certificates. You tick the correct box and select the correct certificate type as shown on this slide. In the Program field, you select the program for exchange students of Faculty of Engineering Science and tick the Attestation in English box to make sure you generate the transcript of records in English. Then you click the Submit button. You will receive a confirmation that the requested document is sent to your email. This email is firstname.surname@student.kuleuven.be. We are very happy that, despite the uncertain COVID-19 times, you have chosen to come on exchange to our faculty anyway. Know that you can reach out to us if you have any question or doubt. We hope you will have a successful and exciting stay here, and we are looking forward to meeting you in person, hopefully very soon. Meanwhile, take care and stay safe.